Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful Wednesday, and we are so thrilled to sit down and share some precious time with all of you wonderful ladies. I simply cannot wait to unpack all these juicy details with you today. I want to start by talking about our sweet Trina Robinson, because, bless her heart, this young woman is carrying the weight of the entire world on her delicate shoulders right now. Watching Trina grow up on our television screens over the years has been an absolute joy. But seeing her current struggles just breaks my heart into a million little pieces. The spoilers for Wednesday, June 10th reveal that Trina is going to make a very bold, dangerous decision regarding her father, Curtis Ashford. We all know that Curtis is in a terrible bind, facing serious legal trouble after his violent altercation with Isaiah Gannon. Trina has always been a girl who loves her family fiercely, and seeing her father facing the possibility of prison is pushing her to the absolute edge of her sanity. It is clear as a bell to me that Trina is not just going to sit back and watch her family fall apart without putting up a massive fight. When you love someone that much, you are willing to move mountains and walk through fire for them. The new reports coming in from Isaiah are making things so much more dangerous for Curtis. Trina realizes that she has to take matters into her own hands before the cold legal system swallows her father whole. I firmly believe that this bold decision of hers is born out of pure, desperate love. She is putting her own peace of mind, her safety, and perhaps even her highly anticipated upcoming art show on the back burner because, in her heart, family always comes first. In American culture, we often say that blood is thicker than water. And Trina is proving that old saying right now in the most dramatic way possible. Trina's bold move is likely going to shake things up in ways we cannot even begin to predict. She might try to confront Isaiah herself to plead for mercy, or perhaps she will try to uncover some hidden truth about what really happened that fateful night to prove her father was provoked. Whatever it is, she is walking right into a massive storm. As a viewer who feels like a proud, concerned auntie to these younger characters, I just want to reach right through the television screen, wrap my arms around her, and give her a big, comforting hug. It is a terrifying thing for a young woman to feel like she is the only one who can save her father from total ruin. The pressure must be absolutely suffocating for her, but I know she will stand strong. And speaking of her parents, Lord have mercy. The situation between Curtis and Portia is becoming absolutely heartbreaking to witness. The spoilers tell us that these two are going to have a massive, explosive clash, and it all stems from the darkening situation with Isaiah. A marriage is supposed to be a safe harbor in a terrifying storm, but right now, their beautiful home feels much more like a hostile battlefield. Portia is a mother and a dedicated doctor, someone who deeply values order, healing, and the safety of her loved ones. Seeing her husband resort to physical violence, breaking Isaiah's arm in a fit of rage, and now facing these severe legal consequences has pushed Portia to her absolute limit. I completely understand her immense frustration as she watches her family's joy slip away. But Curtis is a man who operates on pure instinct. A man who will physically fight to defend his own honor and his family's safety. Now, the dark secrets and the suffocating tension are bubbling over and spilling out into every conversation they have. Portia and Curtis are clashing because they are both terrified of what the future holds, but they are expressing that deep fear as bitter anger towards one another. It is a classic, tragic case of two people who love each other deeply, but are completely unable to communicate through their overwhelming panic. The darker Isaiah's medical and legal reports get, the wider the painful wedge between Portia and Curtis becomes. I sit here in my living room watching them argue, and I just want to tell them to stop, take a deep breath, and hold each other tight. This marital conflict is about so much more than just the physical assault. It is about the fundamental differences in how they handle life-altering crises. Portia wants to fix things through proper, legal channels, relying on the justice system and medical ethics, while Curtis is always ready to go rogue and handle things his own way. The secrets they are keeping from each other, the hidden fears they are masking with anger, it is all exploding right there in their living room, threatening to tear down everything they have built. I genuinely fear that if they do not find a way to get on the same page soon, this terrifying crisis with Isaiah might just be the straw that breaks the camel's back for their fragile marriage. It is a tragic, sobering reminder of how fragile love can be under pressure. Now, let us shift gears to a mother whose protective instincts are absolutely legendary in the town of Port Charles. Heavens to Betsy! When Carly Spencer finally finds out that her precious daughter Jocelyn has been violently kidnapped, you better believe all heaven and hell will break loose. The Wednesday spoilers confirm that Carly is taking immediate, drastic action upon learning this terrifying news. We all know Carly very well by now. She is the ultimate mama bear through and through. If you dare to mess with her cubs, you are going to face a wrath unlike anything you have ever seen on this earth. Learning that Jocelyn is being held captive, enduring unimaginable psychological torment at the gloomy Windermere estate by those ruthless WSB agents, is enough to make any mother completely lose her mind with paralyzing fear. I vividly remember all the countless times Carly has thrown herself directly into mortal danger for her children, acting first and thinking later. It is just fundamentally who she is. She does not care one bit about the danger to herself. She only cares about getting her baby girl back safe and sound. The horrifying realization that Jocelyn is facing a severe psychological breakdown, tragically mirroring the horrific trauma that Anna Devane went through all those years ago, is a brand new, all-consuming obsession for Carly. It is a crazy, terrifying change in their lives. The agonizing thought of her vibrant, strong, independent daughter being mentally broken and potentially shipped off to a facility in France by these absolute monsters is fueling Carly with a superhuman determination that nothing can stop. I have to say, I deeply, truly admire Carly's fierce, unconditional love, even when her reckless methods make me want to cover my eyes in pure anxiety. She is marching straight into the lion's den without a second thought. She is using any excuse she can possibly find to get onto Spoon Island, desperately searching for any tiny clue, like that precious ring Jocelyn intentionally dropped to leave a trail. Carly's entire world has violently narrowed down to one single overriding mission: rescue Jocelyn at all costs. As a mother myself, I feel that raw desperation deep in my bones. You would gladly walk through blazing fire and walk on broken glass for your child. Carly's drastic actions are undoubtedly going to set off a massive chain reaction of explosive events, and I am just sitting here praying with all my might. Meanwhile, in a completely different corner of Port Charles, we have a situation that is sweeter than cherry pie, but wrapped in a whole lot of hidden danger. Sweet Willow Kane is about to receive a very attractive, highly tempting offer from Harrison Chase. Now, we all know the incredibly complicated, messy, and deeply emotional history between these two beautiful people. They have a profound bond that has miraculously survived so many dramatic ups and downs over the years. The spoilers indicate that Chase is offering Willow something that makes him a very valuable, steadfast, new ally for her. With everything Willow is dealing with right now, from the terrifying, blackmailing threats made by Jack Brennan to the heavy, suffocating guilt she carries over Drew's terrible medical condition, she is a fragile woman standing right on the edge of a very steep cliff. Chase stepping up to offer her his unwavering support, perhaps a professional lifeline like the chief of staff position, or simply a safe, quiet haven from her chaotic life, is incredibly tempting for Willow. Chase has always been a fundamentally good, honorable, and decent man. But we also know that Michael Corinthos is lurking in the dark shadows, actively, wickedly plotting to push Willow and Chase into a forbidden affair just to gather blackmail material. It is so incredibly wicked and underhanded, it literally makes my blood boil. Michael wants to completely destroy Chase's marriage to Brooke Lynn, and he is ruthlessly using Willow's emotional vulnerability as a weapon to achieve his dark, selfish goals. I find myself practically yelling at the television screen, desperately warning Willow to be careful and guard her heart. She is crumbling under the immense pressure of her own dark secrets, and Chase's bright, shining goodness is drawing her in like a helpless moth to a beautiful flame. This attractive offer is inevitably going to blur the delicate lines between innocent friendship and something much more dangerous. Willow is finding a much-needed, comforting ally in Chase, someone who makes her feel truly seen and fiercely protected. But this new adjustment in their relationship is a highly dangerous dance on a very slippery slope. The emotional pull between them is absolutely undeniable. And I truly believe that Willow is wrestling with her guilty conscience every single minute of the day. It is a beautifully tragic romantic dilemma. Finally, we absolutely have to talk about poor, handsome Dante Falconeri, because the devastating news he receives on Wednesday is every single parent's absolute worst nightmare come true.